physiologist of the online dance movement, and I thought today we would spend the class going through allongé and movement in everything we do, just so that you embody that experience of understanding what the breath in movement is. And I'm not saying that you'll get it instantly even after one class, but I'll show you the techniques that are used in ballet to create that feeling of allongé in movement. And so off we go. I'm looking forward to this because I have talked about the breath in movement before, haven't I? But I never really went over it fully. So this is what we're going to do. And I'm off to a bit of a late start today, later than usual. It's 5 o'clock here now. So we're not going to have a long class today. We'll have a shorter one than usual, which means it still might go for 30 minutes, but it won't go any longer than 30 minutes. So let me just choose some nice music now. I think we'll have that again. And just start off, we're going to sit in our chairs. Just correct our posture before we start, because we're going to be putting breath into our movement and we need to be embodying that before we start. Because remember, I don't know whether I've said this before, but start the way you intend to continue. So if we're starting lifted, ready to breathe into the movement, that's where we'll be and that's where we can stay. Right. I've got socks on today because it's getting colder. They've got love hearts on them. All right. So, sitting up on the edges of your chairs. The light's going a bit because it's a little bit later, sorry. What if I move that light a little bit? Doesn't matter. Sitting on your sit bones, allow the neck to be free, allow the weight to go forward and up. Feel your breath in your skin. As you're breathing, feel your skin. If you can't feel your skin yet, don't worry. But it's just that heightened sense of awareness, as if you think, I'm breathing and I can feel it through every pore of my body. Wherever I think about, wherever I go, I can feel my skin. I remember I did this exercise with some elite level athletes once, and it was completely foreign to them. And it took quite a while actually, and not everyone got it. So it's okay if you don't get it straight away. All right, so allow the back to lengthen. Allow the back to widen. And feel the lightness in your body as you do this. Allow the shoulders to fall apart. See the way that I'm doing that with lightness. It's not a tense move. I'm not just going through the motion, am I? I'm lifting into everything I do. Feeling the breath in everything I do. Allow the hips to release. So, let's go through the fundamentals of allongé in arm movements in dance. Now, it doesn't just happen with the arms, it happens with the legs, so we'll do that next. So, I've talked about second position of the arms, and I've talked about the musculature that we use. We might go over that, but for the time being, I'm not going to focus so much on that. Hi, Julie, how are you? Waved you. We're going over allongé today, breath in movement. Helen? Oh, there, I did wave. Okay, so actually we will go over the musculature first, because we'll put the technique in and then we'll put in the artistry. All right, and that's the way things usually go. So we're going to take our arms out in front, just like this. Draw the scapulae down. Remember, you're lifting up. You don't have to squeeze underneath the bottom all the time, but if you want to add an extra level of working outness, you can do that because, you know, it's adding to the intensity of what you're doing. So take your arms out in front, fists, and now we're just going to relax. Now, just do that again. And relax. You know, when I come to this position, this is more of a first position that's at the height for a male. but I like this position. A female's more down here, but for the symmetry of what we're doing, we're going to use this one. Okay, so once again, and so scapula is drawing down, right? Wing bone's drawing down. Now, to allonger that movement, we're just going to lengthen the arms, lift into it, and come down. Now, this is not actually correct, technical ballet positioning when we're taking it from here, although it can be used like that, but just to get a feel of the movement. So what you're doing is if you're allonging from second position, you've got your arms in this position. I'll move back a little bit. And what we're doing is we're breathing as the forearm extends, and then it comes down, and then you come to here, and then bring that in, so that there appears to be a breath in the movement. And these breaths connect one movement to the next. So if you're watching a dancer who knows about allongé, you're seeing the breath as it moves from one position to another. It's never going to be bung, bung. There's going to be that breath that connects. And this is the same thing that happens in other art forms as well. It's not just dance. So a really good artist understands the space between. A really good practitioner understands the space between. So anyway, we will do something with the music now. Just follow me and just watch and experience that breath, and I'll talk you through it as we do it. And we might even use the same music just because it's gentle. Hi Ornella, we're just doing allongé, Ornella, and we're going to be talking through it. Okay, let's start here. Now, we're not going to move the upper arms, we're just moving the forearms, and feel the breath before you come back. Out, breath. The breath is the change. See that? Now, while you're sitting there, you're not just sitting there doing nothing. You're lifting up, your scapulae are drawing down. Your arms have got that little rotation so that the forearms rotate outwards and the upper arms rotate slightly inwards without crushing across the front of the chest. So there's quite a lot going on. So let's do that again. Can you feel that? So the key is not making it look stiff. Once you know where it is though, you don't have to tense it too much. Out. Can you see the breath? Now let's bring it up here. We're going to open now to second position. So there's breath from the forearms. And then come to second position. Now in second position, we've got that external rotation of the forearms, internal rotation of the upper arms, but keep the chest open, scapulae drawing down, head back. There's a lot to do. And that's not all of it, because we've still got our core and our pelvic floor and our hip stabilizers. Allongé, feel the breath, come down to here, feel the breath, 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 breath. This is the breath, 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 and you can even do a bit more. And all right, we'll do that again. And don't forget to work your body while you're doing it. It might seem slower, but it's worth it, because once you understand it, it makes a big difference in the way you move. And if you've got children who learn dance, you might even be able to give them a tip or two, because not everyone teaches this. I'm just saying. Not meaning to offend anyone, but it's just, they don't. All right. Okay, first position. Open with the breath. second position now. Allongé. Now scapulae drawing down. Scapulae drawing down, squeeze underneath your bottom. Head position. And now follow with the head to here. A little bit more breath. Down. And breath. Look to the other side. Arms in second position. Breath. Come to here. Breath. Breath. Do you see I did that with my head as well? And my upper body. Okay, and turn the upper body to the side. Breath. You see that? There's a lifting of the upper body with the arms. This is used in épaulement, use of the shoulders. And breath, lift. Can you feel your body working? You should be able to. So there's a spiral here, the hips are staying the same. Breath. Breath. So it's only a tiny movement, but that's the breath and the movement. Now we're going to do something with the legs, and we're going to use the breath in the movement in the legs with the arms. But in actual fact, it's really more, it's really done with the arms and the head and the upper body. But there is always that extension and moving to the next position. So there's that connection of positions from one to the next. All right. It's technical, isn't it? Before we start, let's just do a few leg lifts just to sort of get ourselves moving. Arms in second position. Just lift up. Okay, let's do that with music. And I'll take it to the side as well. Let's see. I think maybe this one. 5, 6, 7, 8. Up and over. Faster. On the allongé. See that? Involves everything. Now, I'll just pause that for a second. What people get wrong a lot of the time is, and I caught myself doing a little bit, because, you know, once we get carried away, we can sort of end up going like this. It's not that. It's not that at all. And once you know, you'll see people doing it all over the world when you watch them doing dance. It's not. You don't do this. You know, like it's completely different. There's that liftedness that is held in the upper arms, and the breath happens in the forearms. Okay, otherwise that control is lost and it just changes the whole look of everything. Anyway, I'm being a little bit pedantic because, you know, I'm a little bit OCD when it comes to movement technique. Anyway, we're going to do something with the legs, seeing as they're a little bit warmer. Maybe we'll just flex and point our feet before we start. Just flex and point, and then the other one. Reaching through the heel like we did yesterday. Reaching long through that big toe. And then the other one. And out to the side. Well, not right to the side, because we want to keep our hips square. And we're not trying to be selected for, you know, the Russian Ballet Company or anything. or the Australian Ballet Company. We're not aiming for that. This is chair-based exercise. It's just I happen to have a background in ballet and a very strong understanding of classical ballet technique, basic fundamental technique, and why you do what you do. So now we're going to do développé, but we'll do it in a way that suits our chair-based exercise. But the whole point of this, développé is a beautiful exercise for demonstrating breath in movement. You'll see them, you know, they're going up and they're... So we're going to actually do that kind of a movement. We'll do développé and I'll show you how breath is put into the movement, and it happens in both the legs and the arms, all right? So it's not just that, no. And that's the thing with movement. When you're doing movements, you're not just going through the motions. There's so much more going on, and it will transform the way you look. So the idea is, when you understand about movement technique, you understand things like the Alexander technique, your breath, the flow, your hip stability, your shoulders. When you understand that, the way you move through life, physically, people will notice. So, you know, it'll look really good. Plus, it's very good for your health. Okay, enough talking, Gina. Let's do this one. That sounds like développé to me. Développé means to unfold. Okay, we're just going to take our leg up in front, actually, parallel. Second, allongé. Maybe we'll take it actually turned out. I think it's easier. Maybe easier for me. Allongé, you feel that lift? You feel it through the leg as well. Up. Lift. Feel the breath. And lift. Now see, if you did it like this, it's not the same, is it? Should be feeling this in your leg now. Keep the elbows lifted. Allongé, just the forearms. Other leg. You just put this in a comfortable position. And lift everything. Lift. Breath. Lift. Lift. Now my turnout might not be the best in the world anymore, because I'm not a spring chicken, but it's not about that. We're doing breath. Okay, other side. Should be feeling this. Lift. Lift, 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 fully stretch the leg. What is that? Hi, Kathleen. Just do the arms, Kathleen, if the leg's too much. We're doing breath in movement, allongé. All right, you should have felt that. Now, Kathleen, the start of this session is quite suitable for you, and that's just demonstrating allongé movement. The arm movements might be a bit high, but I'm sure you'll be able to do this, get the gist of it. It's about using allongé in movement, the breath in movement that we use in the classical ballet technique, and how that's integrated with the head, the upper body, the legs, the whole breath in the movement. Okay, Now we're going to do relevé lent, which is time raised. Now we've just done a bit to the front, so I think we'll do this to the side, but it won't be right to the side. It's going to be like halfway. Now this is very much a Russian technique exercise, which doesn't mean it's exclusive to that technique. It just means that it's used as part of the bar work when you're doing a Russian bar. And time raise, what it is when you're doing a leg lift, which is relevé lent, it's like the movement's continuous. It's like you're not going to break the breath in the movement. It's continuous and it just flows up. And then it holds there and then it lifts in breath before you come back down. It's not the kind of exercise that's going to be point, lift, point, down. It's different in that way. So it's time raised. So if you think about the time in the movement, so you're raising the time. I think that's how I understand why it's called, why the interpretation is time raised. Anyway, let's just do this. So we'll turn out our legs for this, but we're going to go not right to the side because we want to keep our hips square, because a good thing to understand when you're using technique is the symmetry of movement. 2 shoulders square, 2 hips square, unless you're supposed to twist something. And usually it will come from a part of your body, not just randomly, you know, like it'll be an upper body. If you're using the shoulders, épaulement. If you're using the hips for a spiral, or you're going to, yes, or you're just intending to do that, then it'll be the hips. If you're doing pirouettes, there will be an impetus from the hips. But we're not doing that. We're doing time raised, relevé lent. So we're going to take the leg, put your hands on the chair just so you stabilize yourselves, and stretch, fully stretch the foot, and then without breaking the movement, just lift it up. Hold it there, and then feel the lift without going like that, and come down. So I have to move back a bit so you can see me. Let's try that again. So we're going to go, keep it going and keep it moving and keep it symmetrical, keep lifted, and now you see how that's different from going quite different. And this one is a very good demonstration of the breath. Okay, I'm going to have to shift from side to side. I haven't quite worked out to do the I can know how to do the landscape thing, but I don't know how to do it without, this space is not right for it. So we'll just have to put up with this for now. Okay, let me just try that again. Do this music again because it works. So I'll be shifting from side to side. See the breath? Turn out, lift. Point the foot, keep the movement going. No jerkiness. Let's just do a little just to practice our breath. Ornella, do you remember Patrick Byrne conducting? And how he was, you know, like he really used allongé, you know, like he just did. There was a lot of breath in his movement. That's why I talked about that in the introduction. Okay. Keep the movement going. Keep lifting. Now I'm going to shift across here so you can see my leg. Sit up on the sit bones. Lift. And slide. Up. together. Oh, good work. It's not easy, is it? Okay, I'll pause that. All right, now I'll go above the head. So if this is not possible, don't go above the head, all right? Just do what you can. In fact, Kathleen, when I go above the head, do it down here, all right? You can reverse the position, okay? So we're going to go squeeze it. Might as well use all of our technique now for this. So we're going to squeeze underneath the bottom, draw the scapulae down, open out the rib cage, feel that rib cage, feel those respiratory muscles doing their job. I'm not saying breathe up here, I'm not saying that at all, but I'm just saying activate everything. Zip up the pelvic floor internally, G-string it up, zip it up. It doesn't affect the bony structure. This is on the inside, remember. Belly button to the spine, get there with a note, if that's easier. And the belly button will move to the spine with the note. That's a really easy way of doing it. It's great. Now, as a dancer, you're going to leave your body in that position. If you're a singer and you're going to take a breath, well, you're going to need to, take a breath in. You'll let your tummy come out, but we can't do that in dance. So leave it there, nice and long, lifting up through the spine, and we're going to go and here. Now, you need to draw the scapulae down even more as your arms come up. All right? See that position? It's exactly the same position as this. See the upper arms are there, same position. It's not here. It's slightly forward of your body. If you look up with your eyes only, you can see the little fingers. Okay? And the scapulae are really working. Now to open that, there's a breath. See that? It's like the gates are opening, but it's not affecting the upper arms. And then you're going to cut the air with the little finger side of your hands to come to here. Allongé and down. Again. Breath. Okay, I'll put some music on, just follow me. If you don't feel like you're working out when you do this, that means you need to work harder on drawing the scapulae down, lifting up, opening the rib cage, squeezing underneath the bottoms, head sliding back. This is, by itself, a major workout. So if you didn't know about doing all these other things, you'd be going, oh yeah, that'd be nothing. You'd be thinking, well, this is not doing anything. But do it the right way and you'll be doing so much. Let me get a different bit of music. Good for the soul. Oh, have I done that one? Just follow me. Feel the breath in the movement. Feel the skin all over your body. The breath in your skin. Keep the upper arms where they are. Didn't do that one yet, did I? in, breath. Okay. And that's it for today. We went over allongé. If you didn't understand that, or if you want to know more about that, just pop it in the comments. I'm happy to answer that for you. Hope you got something out of it. I really worked my back today. I don't know how you're feeling, but I can feel that right down my spine. It's a really good workout. It's not an arm exercise, interestingly, even though when you've got your arms in second position and we are working, you know, this thing where you've got the forearm is externally rotating and the upper arm is in opposition to it, rather than it actually internally rotating like that. It's just in opposition. So there's a lot going on, but once you know how to do it, it's like when I've talked about the hip stabilization and I've talked about standing and activating that glute medius. When you learn it, you're sort of thinking, oh, I've got to do this. But once you know the feeling, you can make it really subtle. So it's about learning how you hold these things and then learning how to do it gently. And once you do it gently, then you're just elevating your movement efficiency up like 10 notches. Anyway, thank you for being here. And I don't think I've seen you here before, have I, Julie? Maybe I have. I'm sorry if you've been here and I haven't said hello to you, but lovely that you're here. And if you know anybody else who'd like to join in, please invite them. I think you can invite them into the group and then I just accept them and give them love hearts. So I'll see you tomorrow for day 27. Bye.